on my lap, getting strokes out in the stairs. Nee? Weren't you? You weren't sure for a minute.
Chatting you up.
You weren't
talked
sure.
It all, yeah.
Nee?
you here. Where's it gonna be?
Oh, these berries. Right, well, I've been left to my own devices in Inverness while Accies heads back to Esther's for something to eat. I wanted to see if there was any chance that I could get into the castle. Accies isn't super up for it in case it's not possible, so just going for a wee wander and just have a look to see what's about. Going to see these churches. We've got a War Memorial, as always. Queen's Own Highlanders Memorial. Oh, this place is so busy. There we go. It's a bit quieter. Let's see what's doing this way. Then we'll walk back up and we'll make our way back around to the castle. Let's see if I can cross there. Maybe. I could cross further up, but I don't want to. There we go. Then after this white car. Use that. Let's see if it gets too dark. Nah, we're good. And Print Studio as well. See if we can get a good look at these bridges. Our bridge. This is the People Bridge. We could go across the People Bridge and then back round maybe. That would be an interesting way to get to the castle, I figure. Interesting mix of really old and really new. And cars for folk that want everybody's eyes on them. Big old church. It's quite cathedral-like, but I don't think it's big enough to be Inverness Cathedral. I think that's further up towards the castle. The Free North Church. This is quite a building. There we go over this bridge. Oh. It's like there are a lot of seagulls over there. Another bridge too. Well, it looks like that's the castle overlooking everything. another church on this side. We're heading through. D. Chisholm's and Sons funeral home. That's quite a good building for them to have, isn't it? And another church further on. And another church outside that bridge. You know we sit for churches. You can see down under the river too. Oh, this is a little bit like the Dumfries Sugarley Bridge. Kind of bounces as you walk on it. I know it's raining a wee bit, but it's not cold. It's just a wee bit wet, and that's okay. Can't let that stop us. This church has scaffolding around it, looks really old. Roman Catholic church in here. So girls will not bother them by going in. We stop. Oh, like otters. It's like we met otters in the stonework. I like that a lot. We'll go across this bridge and we'll head up to the castle to see if there's any way to get in. If it is open, it probably won't be open for very much longer. We're coming on for kind of 4 o'clock now. The legend of Inverness Castle. Okay. Friendship is like whiskey, the older the better. Too much of anything is bad, but too much of good whiskey is barely enough. I like that sentiment. The Glenalbyn Bar in Huntley Street. These old buildings, just gorgeous. It's a really nice bit. Is that a cathedral down there? We're going to head down and find it, and then we'll cross at the other end. We'll go up these stairs and we'll have a wee look and see what's up here, shall we? Let's not get run over. I don't want to make it before this lorry comes. What's that say? Inverness. $1,685, I think. 1,685. So when this building was built, it looks awfully new, isn't it? Oh, we could have walked up this way without doing the stairs. Mind you, can never get enough of the exercise. I've seen these about. So in Glasgow we had lots of different willies. In Inverness there seems to be lots of different kinds of hearts. Okay. Different gargoyles. So that's the cathedral over there. So we went to visit it. We will need to go back across the bridge again. I knew that bird's just still sitting there. Very strange. That's the cathedral. So back across the bridge we go. Getting in all our steps today. This bank. So if we cross the bridge and go down by the cathedral and then keep walking, it'll take us to the Ness Islands. We can have a wee look at them as well. I think there's supposed to be a Flora MacDonald statue up here. It's been closed off, perhaps as part of the castle renovations too. I'll turn off the camera just now, just so that I'm not freaking people out as if I'm filming them. And we'll record again when we get to the cathedral. We're leaving the cathedral. We're going to take a wee walk down to the Ness Islands. I figure they don't seem like they're too far away. And then we can hole up in a cafe somewhere until Accies is ready to come back and get us. So let's head this way. We could cross the road. Let's have a river view on our walk, shall we? Oh, it is dreary, but it's nice for the amount of walking I've done. It's been good to get cool rain on the go. Coffee place. We'll not stop here. If we can get a view from this bridge, that would be good. We'll see if we can get a view of the islands. something called Under Canvas, and it sounds like a musical affair, some kind of musical event on the go over there. Got another heart. It's our third heart. We're fair collecting them by accident, eh? Sounds like very Scottish music. What's this heart? The greater your storm, the brighter your rainbow. Well, we can all appreciate that wee sentiment, can't we? At the Highland Hospice here. And they start looking at you. It's a nice building for the hospice. Part old, part new. Lot of that. Adverts for the UK's most northerly public miniature railway. I don't know that I've ever seen a miniature railway. This way to the city centre in Belfield Park, and you can see the tip of the islands from here. I believe. So we'll go a wee bit further up. This was made by W.S. Smith and Son, Ness Iron Works, Inverness. Good local build. Not as sugary as the other bridge, not as bouncy, although it has bounce to it. Certainly has bounce to it. So, ooh, you can really feel it when you stop. So this is the start of the islands here, certainly from where we are. And I believe you can walk over to it and off the other side. I don't want to head all the way over there just to find out that you can't, but it does seem as if there's access where you can, from this side, you would walk up further right to the bottom of the island. The islands, you would walk up to this point here of the island, and then a wee bridge to take you back off the other side. Will not chance it, for it is dreich, and I could be wrong. It is not a deep river, like you could wade from one side to the other, though I wouldn't want to in this weather, maybe on a sunnier day in bathing gear. Come back out again. Whoop. Looks like another war memorial in the tree park here. This is lovely. Imagine having one of these houses. How lucky would you feel? And we're back to the other side of the bridge, back on the side of the church, and the birds that weren't for running away or flying off when they were walked by. These houses. Balconies too. It's really lovely. They have lots of wee plants out there, and I think the place is really gorgeous anyway, to be honest. Of course, some of them are set up to be bed and breakfasts, which makes sense when you're as near to the city centre as they are. Such a tourist city. And you can see the top of the cathedral where we were before, over the other side. Do you know what, I'm walking and I still feel like I'm kind of bouncing slightly, like off the back of being on that bridge. I think the rain is getting a wee bit heavier, so we'll want to find a cafe to hole up in, preferably one with a car park where Accies is able to park up easily enough. Got these good trees too. You can tell they take care of them too. They've all got supporting structures attached to the trunks, maybe to stop them from falling down the bank into the river should a storm pass through. We've got a hotel in here. It does weddings and such. Restaurant, bar, events, weddings, meetings, coffee all day. I think I want to be more city centre for Accies coming over. There's the cathedral again, the other side. And we've got the castle peeking out over the top here. I'm sad that we can get into the castle, but I mean there may have been a way, but the entrance that I came across, biggest entrance I came across, seemed to have quite a lot of large construction vehicles coming out of it, so I didn't really want to chance that.
What? Oh my god! You're so
On a nice clear day, this hill behind this church steeple here would be far more easily seen. As it is very misty. Beast. That is a fantastic building in there. God, my goodness. Big crow strutting his way down the street. And all of this is Beast, all of this white mason building with that new building we passed in the background. It is quite an incredible sight to have to do as you please with. So if you're doing a good job, well, we can see if our wee birdies are still here opposite this church. The wee seagull seems to have gone. What I assume was the baby seagull. It appears to have gone. And we'll cross over. Back to the statues of faith, hope and charity. Oh no, there it is. It's still there. It's shouting at folk. The wee birdie that was sitting up here isn't here anymore. I wonder if he was chased away or maybe he was done what he was doing. There's an apple tree here. I wonder if it's a community garden where folk can pick apples. I will not do that. Faith, hope and charity. The history of these statues begins with the Young Men's Christian Association beginning in London in 1844. The YMCA opened branches in towns and cities across the United Kingdom in the years that followed. A branch opened in Inverness in 1859, the 9th such branch in Scotland. It originally occupied a room at 3 High Street and also ran an evening school in a building in Davis Square. However, as the organisation grew and its activities became more popular, larger premises were required. A site was selected for the corner of High Street and Castle Street. Local architect John Rind, 1836-1889, was chosen to design it. And he produced a blueprint for an ornate building in a classical style with Roman composite columns. It was noted how well it complemented the Bank of Scotland, which stood on the opposite side of the street. The foundation stone was laid by Lord Ardmillan on the 22nd of April 1868. Sweet seagull is just floating about. I'm wondering if it's maybe hurt itself or is unable to fly for some reason. The YMCA commissioned the local sculptor Andrew Davidson, 1841 to 1925, of Messrs D and A Davidson, to sculpt 3 figures depicting faith, hope and charity, Christian virtues much valued by the Victorians, to stand on top of the new building. There's these characters here. The building was also adorned with busts of the heads of the various religious leaders in the spaces between the ground and the first floor windows. One of these was of John Wesley, later removed to the Methodist Church in Union Street and finally to the new Methodist Church in Huntley Street. The Association Buildings, as it was known, was later bought by William Mackay and became Mackay's Tartan and Tweed Warehouse and thereafter Grant's Tartan and Tweed Warehouse. It was demolished in 1955 with faith, hope and charity removed to the Borough Surveyor's Yard, where they remained until 1961 when they were bought by an antique collector from Orkney. Good on him. They remained there until the council purchased them with funding from Inverness Common Good Fund for the City of Inverness in 2007. A ceremony was held in October of 2011 to mark the rightful return of these prominent statues to Inverness at their present location. There we go. That is interesting to know. I am curious about this bird. How could I not be? It has been here for some amount of time. We've done a fair amount of trekking. So if anyone can tell me if you think this is a baby seagull that's maybe delayed in its development for some reason, because as far as I'm aware, there should be no baby seagulls left in August. So some informative ornithologist can let me know. I would want to help it if I could, but I feel like it would just shout at me and maybe run away, so I'll not annoy it. There's a good amount of ravens kicking about too. Alright, and we're walking back the way that we walked to cross the bridge to get over to the Cathedral, only this time we are looking for somewhere to hole up out of the rain with a drink. Well, the car's making the sign sad because they're going a wee bit too fast. If they go more than 20 miles per hour, it gives them a sad face and tells them so. I like these signs. If you're going to 20 or below, you get a nice wee green smiley face telling you thank you. So I feel like we've fair got around the city centre a wee bit. I'll go and grab a drink and I'll wait maybe a half hour after I've done that to call Accies. I don't need to be over at the hotel until about 7 o'clock, and we're closing in on 6, so I will get him and you can come and grab us for wherever we end up, I guess.